Okay, hope everyone is doing well. It is Sunday, April 6th, 10 p.m. here in Japan. Uh, you guys doing good? It went from spring to winter and now it's slowly coming back to spring again, so that's kind of nice. Um, yeah. How's the weather where you are? You guys still getting some snow or has it eased off a bit? All right, guys. A lot of stuff went down this week, particularly for Band-Maid. What's up, Ronnie? Um, but there's also let's go. Hey, Alan, what's going on? There's also the live stuff, and there will be a hey, Mike. There will be a breaking news gate. I was a little slow, just because I was tired. I told SJ, ah. I just got home and I just want to sleep. Hey, Eric, how was Nemophila tonight? I'm sure you loved it. Uh, it's hard not to love a live show in Japan, really. Like, it's almost impossible. Hey, what's going on, David? It's almost impossible to attend a show and go, ah, that sucked. I think I've rarely ever heard somebody say that, if almost ever, for a show in Japan. Whereas in the States or elsewhere, people have various opinions. Um, Let me go ahead and do sort of a quick breakdown. Um, oh, by the way, this image I made years ago for Band-Maid. Forgot which reason exactly. Wild crowd. Yes, I saw you, Eric. I saw your comment on your Facebook. It felt like you were being dry humped by hundreds of people, and I'm sure it was mostly men. Although I've never had the experience of being dry humped by hundreds or 100 men or so. I do have the experience of being dry humped by one man at the Bride Deer show last year. So I guess I can understand only a percent of what you went through tonight. But I'm sure aside from that, despite that, or maybe because of that, it was a great time. As you can see, my cough is still here. My foot is still my foot. But let's go ahead and get into things because I still have some work to do. It's been busy. What's going on, Jeff? Uh, yeah, good God, the pollen. I showed you guys last time. Like, I had these dollar or 100 yen Daiso, like, pollen glasses, which I didn't even know they had until I went there. Um, but yeah, depending upon when you come and how sensitive you are to allergies, that might be a good thing to sort of invest in. And it is only 100 yen. Yeah, yeah, that's part of it. Okay, let me break this down really quickly for Band-Maid, just because again, there's going to be a breaking news gate on it, and it will be slightly redundant, but I do want to get into some stuff. This week, the first thing I wanted to point out, which was kind of cool and unexpected, was that Konami actually ended up posting photos of the Acoustic in Osaka. That was in March 20th. You can't quite see it too close up from here, but again, I thought the whole thing would be a surprise. I thought they wouldn't give away anything at all. But yeah, so it turns out that they aren't going to be wearing anything more elegant. They will just be wearing their new battle gear that they revealed earlier this year. Um, so yeah, Konami on acoustic, because it's an acoustic set. Hmm. Oh, I can see Misa with her acoustic bass. She's actually in the middle. It's interesting. The setup is Konami, Saiki, or Spiky, as people have been saying. Misa in the middle, then it's Miku, and then it is, oh my gosh, Akane on the other side. So that's an interesting lineup right there. But yeah, I'm sure it was a great time, and I can't quite see what people are wearing, but it is, everyone's just sitting down. If I remember correctly, they ate, and they're pretty close up. So that's pretty nice. No, no thanks, Suho. No. Um, I did Uber some Panda Express earlier today, and I forgot to eat my fortune cookie, and my dog is kind of like, oh, just like your master. You want some panda? Yeah. So yeah, that's the first thing. First reveal, nothing too big, but still more than I expected for the acoustic. And it is coming up next week. It will be April 13th on Sunday at Tokyo Billboard. So that's about a 35-minute bike ride for me, so it's not too bad. Okay, so that is that. And then, of course, Band-Maid did release their new song, Ready to Rock, a couple days ago. It is the opening theme song for Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Thank you, Eric. This one's for you, Eric. Here is the synopsis, which I think is kind of pretty cool. At an all-girls school where young, gorgeous, and ladylike girls from all over the country gather, Ririsa Suzunomiya, it's a long name, Suzunomiya, who is the daughter of a real estate tycoon. Oh, became the daughter of a real estate tycoon after her mother remarried, gives up her guitar and love for rock music in order to act like a rich young lady. But her passion for rock is rekindled when she meets a highly skilled drummer who attends the same all-girls school. I believe that girl's name is it Otoha or no Ono? I think it's Otoha. Yeah, it is Otoha. So that would be motion capture by Kanami and Akane, who are also playing their parts as well. So I'll play just the opening part just because it's really cool. And I gotta say, I do love the sort of classroom student setting. It is a nice change of pace to have more people there. As someone who grew up on MTV, it's really cool to see. I don't know. I like to see things incorporated more besides just sort of a performance video, which maybe you guys are used to and you guys don't mind. But for someone like me, I think who's visually very affected and very stimulated, I like things to be changed up. The director of this video has been the director of like the past, besides a couple of videos here and there, like Afterlife and Unleash. What's going on, Steen? This guy's directed like, I don't know, 20, 30 Band-Maid videos. And I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of his style. But having said that, I'm glad they incorporated more things. There's even a drone shot, which is really cool. I won't play the whole thing here, but just the intro, I'm sure you guys have heard it. But if not, it gets pretty intense. Yeah. So that's the opening intro, and then it goes into the song. Yeah, it's really cool music video. I think sonically, it's not quite my aesthetic. I said before, and I may trample on toes, whatever. I mean, it's just how it is. People have their own preferences. This is not quite within mine, but it's still a cool song. There's still a lot of power behind it. It is very raucous. Konami goes to her chromatics. Akane is just ballistic, like it's just insane. Misa as well. And of course, Psyche is just belting out as she has been doing, for the past couple of years now. And Miku holding down the O's. So yeah, it's a good Band-Maid song, and I definitely won't knock it. It's not quite within my wheelhouse, but it really does, I think, what it needs to do in terms of just capturing what Ready to Rock is, right? So yeah, Um, so that is their Ready to Rock video. Again, it is interesting because I realized I was just watching this. I was like, oh, this is the first time. Yeah, Miku did a little nice little thing right there, right? Later on in the song. But especially with Psyche's attire walking in the classroom, it's got a very interesting effect, right? There is that sort of dominatrix quality. Um, yeah. Yeah, and I've heard Sadako, there are the students in class. I've heard also even Hot for Teacher, which I don't know. I guess because it's in the classroom. For me, that's not what reminds me of Van Halen. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so this is Band-Maid's new single, new music video, Ready to Rock. It is out on digital, and you guys can check it out. Um, but yeah, it's a fun video. It's a fun video, and as you can just see as you're watching, there is a lot of movement, a lot of energy, a lot of flair, especially with the dancing. That's really cool. And it's funny because there is a dancer in here named Kanami, and someone's like, "Was it? Wait, is Kanami Tono dancing? Is she a student as well?" I think I could have just obviously stated that's a no, but there was a link to the person who is named Kanami, um, and it is not Kanami Tono, the Kanami that we all know and love. Okay. So yeah, that is that. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but what's really cool is that. mm, oh no, where did it go? Ah, darn it. Well, this is a section where Konami and Akane play, and they are doing the motion capture for this. So I'll play a section of it. It's originally by a group called Light, a band called Light, and the song is called Ghost Dance. So, it's interesting that they gave her like twin tails when that's typically Miku's sort of signature look. And to be honest, I know I saw online some people were saying like, oh, you can see their movements and it totally looks like Konami and it totally looks like Akane moving. Um, I guess I personally don't quite see that, at least not in this sequence, but I'm sure it is possible. Um, but it is cool. This is actually modeled after PRS, which was mentioned by Paul Reed Smith himself, and he thought it was really cool for it to be used in an anime. Yeah, so it's very math rocky. It's cool, and I thought I had this here somewhere. Hold on just one moment. I'm sure I can find it. Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen this video, but this is the girls actually doing the motion capture with like, the the ball sensors and the body suits. So it's really cool. Yeah, I mean, even the symbols have those. Psyche. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think I saw that. I didn't quite read the details of it. But, people who have been following Band-Maid for years, I mean, since the beginning, pretty much, of my discovering them, people were saying, like, yeah, Band-Maid, they should have their own anime. They should have their own anime. And this is, like, a pretty big step towards that. Will there ever be, like, a full-on Band-Maid anime? You never know. You never actually know. That's kind of cool. But it is a cool premise. Um, and it is that idea of breaking that gender stereotype of being sort of a prim and proper girl, to pursue your passions as a rock musician. I mean, that's a lot of girls here, and it seems almost like the norm in the world that I'm in right now. So for me, it's very not atypical for me to meet someone who is a rock musician and she's female. But in the larger scope of Japanese society, yeah. No? Kobato Mike? All right. Um, so this is what actually did remind me of Van Halen. And it's a minor thing. Some of you might get it, some of you might not. But it's actually their photos that they took for Barks this time around. And like if you know the album Diver Down, it's a very iconic image just with the red and then the white stripe. So it's incorporated into their image. Personally, they're not my favorite photos. There are certain things about it that don't quite appeal to me. The way that they were shot and lighted, and the way that they were filtered. But still, having said that, it's kind of a cool aesthetic, especially with the black against the white and red. So yeah, if you guys have not seen it, have not read it, you guys, I haven't actually myself, but you guys can go ahead and use a translator. It's Barks, just, Google Barks Band-Maid, and it'll pop up. So yeah, very clean, very slick look. Yeah. And I think I told you guys last week, right? I saw an old image, maybe. I saw an old image of Misa, with her totally straight hair and then the bangs, and I was like, yeah, and I remember why. I was totally head over heels for her for the longest time. So, yeah, that is that. Okay. So let me go ahead and get into, well, any questions about Band-Maid or any thoughts in particular that you guys want to discuss before I get on to the live show part and kind of what I did and what's going on, music-wise, song-wise, band-wise. Give me just a moment. Yeah, I just love Van Halen. Do all of them have a part in the anime? It does seem that way. Kasaiki's in there with the keyboards. I actually didn't see Miku. Yeah, I didn't see Miku, but that's the question. Because there's Akane and there is Kanami and there is Misa on the bass, and then Saiki was on the keys. It's possible, but I don't know that for sure, to be honest. So I can't give you a clear answer on that one. Thanks for stumping me. You win the prize of me saying you stumped me. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Hagane. I'll be honest, I love Hagane's songs. I think because I'm so used to bands that rock a little bit harder. When I saw Hagane earlier, well, it was actually the end of last year, right? December 31st. They performed as very sweet girls. Except for Juna, who's like a monster in the back. It's so fun watching her because she's so petite too. But yeah, I mean, again, fantastic musicians, fantastic songs, but the performance to me was very nice, if that makes sense. But hey, I mean, it's always sort of, you know, your mileage may vary depending upon who you are and what you look for. So don't take it from me, see it for yourself. But yeah, I think they're great. I was so happy to have them come back. That's great. Okay, I'm gonna go into the show that I attended yesterday, which was Liner Liner. I lost track. So I do this a lot. Like I lose track and I forget about shows that are coming up, or I just kind of miss it. Because there's just so many, and I get so caught up with like trying to schedule things and do things. But the show that I attended was a show called Liner Liner, and the show that I would have loved to have attended as well was the Stereo Gang One Man, which happened yesterday at a place called Machida, the Playhouse. So that was unfortunate. I would have loved to have supported them. You know, we interviewed them on MNN. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. And I saw them perform twice, but you know, I'll look for them again. But this show was really cool. And I guess the cool thing about it is that I did get to see launcher number 8 for the first time. They went harder than I expected. When you listen to the recorded stuff, it's a lot lighter. And I think launcher number 8 is a band that you just cannot experience purely through an album. And I think that can be said for a lot of bands, but launcher number 8 is definitely one of them. And I did record a couple of the songs, which I will post initially on our Patreon, MNN Tokyo Plus. But gotta say, like, damn, they go hard. And the people attending as well go really, really hard too. I think the funny thing about last night was a guy that I see quite often at Dimray shows. He was like, "Yeah, Osaka's different." Because launch number 8 is also from Osaka, as is Dimray's. Launch number 8, they label themselves as Osaka Easy Core. I'm not quite sure what Dimray's quite calls themselves, but yeah, it got pretty heavy and intense. And for some reason, I'm not sure if I have the video that I wanted to share from yesterday. I have one of them, but I don't think it's the one that I really wanted to show you. But since I don't think I have it for some reason, I'll just show you this one, okay? So this is a band that I will forewarn you that if you go to see, if you are older and if you don't want to get caught up in sort of the madness that ensues, in terms of the moshing, the sort of, you know, capoeira stuff that people are into, that's not my thing. The crowd surfing, all of that stuff, stage diving, then stay away from the middle part for sure. Last night in particular was a pretty bit wild. Every now and then there's that guy at a show, and there was that guy, a few that guys at this show. One in particular who was driving me a little bit nuts at the way he was just like caught up in himself. Yeah, so I will say the lead singer Uruka, she's got a lot of charisma. She's a tough girl. And they definitely like raise the energy like way beyond I think what they're able to do. So let me sorry, I'm laughing to myself just because I'm sort of remembering what kind of went down yesterday. I did have another video with them, like, yeah, just getting crazy, like everyone. Oh wait, is this it? I think this is it. But during the show, I mean, there's a lot of moshing. There's a lot of, again, that like capoeira stuff going on and like kicking and like there were times that yeah, contact Akane. She'll get in touch with you. There were times where people were like surfing 2, even 3 at a time. And there were times where they would collide unintentionally. And there were these 2 big guys too, who were both being lifted and being shifted through the crowd. And they unintentionally scissored. So you had 2 guys like, ah, and then like, I don't know, just me. I was off on the side just kind of laughing to myself. Like, I found that pretty hilarious. Couple times where people jumped and people couldn't quite catch them. And I don't know exactly how they hit the floor, but they definitely hit the floor. So I found it really amusing. I've never seen 2 guys scissor before. And I'll leave it at that. Yeah, contact them. Anybody you want to contact for tickets, contact them personally, and then if not, get back to me. Yeah. So there was definitely violence going on. There was a lot of fun, but there's a lot of violence. And I'm not gonna lie, like people got hurt. Like one girl I saw get smacked in the face. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Somehow, so like one guy lost a shoe. I picked it up, and at the end, after the set was over, like shoe, Bueller. And I don't know how this happened. Someone's wallet just exploded. It was just this weird type of explosion. But when the set was over and the lights turned on and you looked on the floor, and I don't even know why this guy had all of these things. There were like tons of receipts. Like you swear it was just like a receipt store had just like been bombed. Even though there's not a receipt store. So yeah. Launcher number 8, I'll tell you now, very brutal, very intense. And I think if my foot was better and if I weren't like, okay, I'm here to take photos and stuff, I wouldn't have minded joining in. I think my foot was better. Maybe I would have been more open to it. But I will say launcher number 8, much more than Dim Rays, much more than Dim Rays. The crowd with Dim Rays, they're actually quite pleasant. There's a lot of fun and there's a lot of joy. Like they're really happy and they're really helpful. There's a friendliness about the Dim Rays crowd. If you go to a Dim Rays show, like people are very like, there's a real strong sense of community. No, that's another difference with launcher number 8, which does actually point to them becoming more popular more quickly, because there are a lot of young kids too, and there were some girls as well. It's a mix because you have Ruka, the singer, and then you have the female bassist, and then you have the other guys, the 2 guitarists, and then you have the drummer. But it's a pretty good mix. It's a pretty good mix. And if you have that kind of ratio, that means that there's room for more popularity. There isn't quite a cap on it the way there is with like middle-aged older guys like us. But yeah, they go hard. They do go hard. And people get violent and people are letting off. It's not just fun. Like there's a sense. I was watching, like, there's this sense of like letting off a lot of steam and frustration from like living in a place like Japan. So yeah, Dim Rays, more or less, I'm pretty sure you'll have a good time. Launch number 8, get involved at your own risk. That's what I'm saying. So that was the first band up. It was great to see them. I will be listening to their EP again just because I listened, thought it was fine, but didn't think beyond that. And I'm not quite sure if they're quite my style. Dim rays is definitely more. I think it hews closer to what I enjoy more. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're definitely a cool band. I can't deny that. And yeah, dude, Chris, get in there. Get your big ass and just like start like stomping on people, just like throwing fists. um, Moving on, second band up that night was Phantom Excalibur. Uh, Saw them perform at Undying Words first time. And Phantom Excalibur, I think I mentioned before, the lead singer is this blonde dude, dyes his hair, of course. Um, Quite rotund, really hilarious, gives off Jack Black vibes. A lot of fun, a lot of energy. They're like very heavy metal, but there's like metalcore elements. There is like death voice, harsh. And I want to actually play one of their videos for you. Hold on, let's get past this. This is them actually performing at. Wait, is this them performing at Walk-In? Oh no. Where did that go? Hold on. Oh, is this it? Yes, this is that Walk-In. So he gives Jack Black vibes, sort of a Tenacious D, The Darkness, big, bombastic, hilarious, just entertaining, but super talented. This guy's really talented, singer-wise, guitar-wise. Yeah, super talented guy, guitarist. Yeah, it's quite metal. And whenever he comes out on stage, he comes out with this like lighted sword, which I took a photo of when Lily from Little Lilith was wielding it because just for fun, she grabbed it and she took it out on stage when she came out, when it was Little Lilith's turn to perform. And then at the very end again, when people were asking for encore, she brought it out. But she's like, sorry guys, but hey, come out to our one man. So yeah, it's good stuff. You guys should check them out if you like it. The third band to appear was Lumirise. I don't know how many of you know Lumrise or like Lumirise. I think, yeah, I don't think they're bad at all. Lumrise, I think sonically for me as well, like they're okay. But what I really dig is the lead singer. What was it? Koto? Is it Kotomi? So many names. Somebody out there knows. But she's a really cool girl. Like she's got like definitely like, let's get out there and let's like blow this shit up. And she's down for it. So let's just play, which one should we do? No, that one's softer. Maybe this one? It's a mix, like rhythmically they mix it up, sonically they mix it up. It can be a bit poppy and boppy, electronica, some straight rock as well, but they do go pretty hard and heavy as well. See, it's like a club song. But yeah, people get pretty crazy for them as well. So if you see Lumrise, they're definitely down to get a little bit crazy as well. But yeah, Kotomi really likes mixing it up and getting involved, so she will like crowd surf. And then I think at one point she did get dropped accidentally, which I don't know how. But at the end of the show, she was talking. She had blood like a little bit dripping down off her elbow. Yeah, very fun live. Very fun live. It's like a rave. And then that is the cool thing I think about Japan is like they're not afraid to mix it up because they're not as genre phobic as I think Westerners are. It's like, oh no, don't mix the genres, don't mix the carrots and the peas, like let's separate it. Lumirise. Lumi, rise, like rise up. They do have some good stuff. But yeah, I like her. She's got a lot of charisma. Like for me, front women, front people, like there's a lot. They do a lot for me for a band. It can be make it or break it for me. And the bands that I usually really love have strong front persons. Yeah, here's where they go a little bit hard. Yeah. So that is Lumirise. Super fun band to watch live. And that is the thing is that you do get very much affected by certain bands because of just the crowd work and what the fans bring to the table at the show. And you know, some bands just bring that energy and that they bring that atmosphere and they welcome just that kind of connection. But not all bands do that. Not all bands have that. So it's different. It's very different how you experience a band here in Japan at a live house versus just listening to them, I think, on a record. I will say that out of all the venues that I've been to, the most consistently chaotic and mad venue is Shinjuku Anti-Knock. Yeah. So if you get a band that fans like to get a little bit busy, they like to sort of like work off some steam, and they're performing at Anti-Knock, and there's maybe a couple of bands like that, then it's gonna get nuts. I do have not infamous, but I do have a clip where I was shooting photos for Dim Rays and then just got knocked off my step and like tumbled to the ground. So it happens. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. We did launch number 8. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then the last band was the last band was Little Lilith. And it's really cool. Because to be honest, like I liked them. They were cool, but I didn't like go out of my way to see them, you know. But I got to see them the past 3 weeks, like 3 times. And as I watched them, as I listened, and I listened to their latest single, Retribution, I was like, yeah, they're really good. And I kind of knew that, but sometimes it takes time for things to just sort of simmer. Um, like even the solo that Erica, the guitarist, does on that single, like I really love it because it's so simple, but it's very straightforward. Um, I just love what she does. Like she repeats the motif that she had, but she does it, was it lower or higher, like a scale down or a scale up? And then she adds more technique like bending and harmonics, and it just, it just, it's the kind of stuff I really like. Um, so yeah, it was cool. This is at the end of the show. I was allowed to take photos, and then I was approached by someone who's like, "Oh, are you allowed to take photos?" I was like, "Yeah, I got permission." And I think that was said because there was some white guy that was there who was visiting. I think he was with Hero from J Rock Tours, and he was being all photographer and like taking all these shots. And I think they told him, "Sorry, no, no this." So yeah, I was like, "No, I got permission." Yeah, no, the first time I saw Little Lilith was beginning of 2023, and her drum work was actually stood out to me because I went there to a show with Michael Barber, um, known by some people here, and I think we both pointed that out. Yeah, she's got some great beats. She's got some great beats. But yeah, the more I listen, the more I watch Lil Lilith, the more I'm just like, this is good stuff. This is cool. I really like it. And I think I do like Lily's voice more live than I do recorded because it breathes more and it goes harder and heavier and just there's just more heart behind it and just like weight. And I love that. I think that's why I love live shows. The humanity that you experience. So I did get to take a few shots. Well, I took quite a few shots, but when I emailed them, they said you can only repost or share photos that we have. So these are photos that Lily shared, and it's cool because she shared quite a few of them. So this is one of them. This is another one. And again, this is the sword that is actually Katan, who is the lead singer of Phantom Excalibur. And then this one as well. So I do have like about 75 more photos, and I have like tons more from the other shows as well, but I can't share them because it is what it is. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. And it's cool because Lily ended up following me on Instagram, which is very nice. So yeah, it's just little things, little steps, but the little steps they add up, you know? So hopefully the next time there's an opportunity I can ask and reach out, and we'll see. Um, and that kind of segues into a couple of shows that I will be taking photos for. Um, I wouldn't say I'm the official photographer, but I was invited. I would be able to go. Well, I asked to be invited. But I will be taking photos for, darn it. Let's see here. For Doll Parts, 419. Are any of you guys going to be there at that show? It's at Aoyama Rhythm. They dropped, or they will be dropping their new music video. I really dig it, but they do have an official photographer, but I asked if I could go as well and take some photos too, and she said yes. And I asked if I could go in as a guest. She said yes. Because I've helped her out quite a bit with different things, so you know that's something else. Sorry, just a little like. Very cool. Kind of the tough thing and the thing that there's a lot of nuance and it takes you got to be careful how you tread. You're not always walking on eggshells, but at the same time there are eggshells at times. I had a bad experience this past week with a certain label, which I won't go into detail of, and no fault of my own, but that person made a mistake, and that's in my head now, so I know that forever, and that will affect how I approach things. Um, So it's like when you're working, and I can't speak like for everyone, but from my experience and just from the things that I've been through within the industry and within the work that you're doing, there's friendships, there's favors, um, there's propositions, there are transactions, and sometimes it's just strictly business, and it's all sort of mixed and intertwined, and you never quite know, and it takes time to get a feel with each band or each management where you stand, like what footing you're on. Um, you always need to be, hmm, yeah. You do need to be careful, like what you say. You never like this is just my suggestion. If you ever at all want to get involved deeper with like helping out, bands in Japan, especially with the culture and with the society and how things work, um, you just want to always be careful. If there's a mistake made, you can acknowledge it, apologize, um, but always do your best on your part to have your hands clean. Like whatever the other party may do, always do your best to make sure that you are clear of any guilt. You know, it's just a little side note, but just this past week I was thinking about it and just the way that I interact with different people. Like when I interact with Hades, there's definitely like a friendship there. Um, I'll do anything that they want me to do, no questions asked. Paid or unpaid, it doesn't matter. Like I'm there for them, and they do know that. Um, yeah, no problem at all. Like, and then there are favors or people where I'm kind of close to, but not like friends yet. I don't feel that. And with that, it's like, oh, do you mind? Would it be okay? Or could you? And then it's like yes or oh, okay. And you accept it as such. And then there are other times where like you make a suggestion or you make an offer and they say, oh, well, thank you, but no thank you, and you accept that as well. And then, again, the times where it is strictly just business, is purely business. Um, have I had that yet? Um, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I've tasted a little bit of that, but I try not to veer into that direction. And I don't necessarily think that I've had that opportunity. Or maybe I have, but I just tend to lean more towards just doing favors and building relationships, which may it eventually turn into friendships. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's just sort of me sort of just talking about stuff from my experience. But yeah, again, you never know. Some of you guys may want to get involved more. You guys may want to do more for these bands. And at some point, who knows, you may want to get more personal and maybe have the opportunity to do so as well. Um, it may not happen, but it may. But when that day comes, like how are you perceived, and is there a goodwill built between you and like that group or those people? So yeah. All right. Having said that, I'm really cool with Arisa from Doll Parts. I've helped her not through, I've helped her with certain things. Um, and she's asked me to do things and I've said okay. And so I'm definitely available I think they're available as well to do things for me if I ask. But I haven't asked yet. So, but I am cool with them. Like I'm really cool with Kotaro, the drummer, and then with the Arisa. She's one of the people, and it's mainly because of her. Like that's the other thing with Japan is that how there's different levels of speaking. There's like the really casual between friends, and then you go a little bit more formal, and then you go like super formal, like the ways that you talk. I think Arisa, more or less from the get-go, was just like, "Hey, Peter." She didn't use any formal language, if I'm not mistaken. like she ended up adding me on her line. And then usually when I talk to people online and when I interact with them, it's pretty much like only like with Hades, like there's zero formality. It's just all chill. There's no masu between me and the girls from Hades. And Arisa's very much the same way. Um, so I can say ore. And if you guys don't know this quick little Japanese language, you know, you can say watashi. And even above that is watakashi. So there's like watakashi, watashi, which is what girls should only say usually. But watashi. And then for guys, you would go a little bit lower, a little bit more, still like semi-formal. You would say boku. But then when you're like really chill, you say ore, ore. And with Hades, with Arisa, I can do that. It's not a problem. But yeah, Arisa is definitely going hard with promoting the band, with the new album coming up. If you haven't heard it yet, I do want to play that because I really like it. It's yeah, it's a really cool track. You know, I wish I had been there. It's funny because there's a guy who discovered Doll Parts through MNN, my interview with them, and then he ended up crowdfunding for this music video, as well as another one. There's two filmed back to back on the same day, and he said he can't make it, but Peter can go in my place. But it happened to be a work day, so I couldn't go out there. But check it out. I love the vibe. I love the aesthetic. I love the sound. It's just it's just good stuff. Just the fuzz on that bass, just that riff. You know, that lo-fi, that filter. Love it. She is one of the sexiest performers, like hands down. Oh, I love that. Oof. So Koji, who is from the same hometown as her, Fukuoka, talented dude, super talented composer. She does the lyrics. I think he's quite a few years older. I think he's older than me as well. He's probably in his 50s, I believe. But yeah, some good stuff. Some good stuff. Oh yeah, it's not out yet. It's not out yet. The music video will be coming out the 12th, which is next week or this week. Yeah, Saturday. Saturday. So yeah, new album. Bog, bragging out garbage. I don't know if it was meant to be like bragging about garbage, which at least to me interpreted is like bragging about not the good stuff but the bad stuff, like being cool with like not being perfect. But that's totally like open to interpretation. But super cool track. I love it. Totally love it. This is something that I'll definitely be looping when it comes out. So there's that. And then there is, well, next week also, I will be attending, or this coming Saturday actually, I'll be attending this show for Shiglapes, which is really cool. Shiglapes, like I consider them friends as well. Even though I don't interact with them as much as I did when I was in Osaka. They're just so cool. They're so just chill. I love them. Like as people, they're just fantastic. Oh, that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that. But they are supporting their album release, Mother. It's interesting because they're considered a metal band, but you know, like when I interview them, when I listen to their music, there's such an infusion, and it's like it's very interesting because there's metal at the core, but then what you attach to that can differ greatly. Like some people add hip hop, some people add pop, some people maybe even a bit of folk, electronica, She-Glapes is the only metal band that infuses like RPG fantasy soundtracks. That I know of. Maybe there's more. Um, yeah, I did see that, but I don't believe I'll be attending that show. Um, so yeah, but Mother, it's a lot brighter. It's a lot warmer. It's a very comforting album. It's a very hmm, how do I say? Even though it's metal, like there isn't a lot of darkness. So if you want to hear metal, but it's more rock, I would say. This album is more rock than it is metal, but it is a lot warmer. It's a lot brighter, and it's just I don't know the name Mother. Like considering that that's the title of the album with the music being played, it's like being embraced almost. Like it opens up with like the sound of just waves. And She Grapes, which they're named after because of sea grapes, which is a plant and a delicacy in Okinawa, which is what they're named after, sea grapes. So they're very connected to like ocean with their imagery and whatnot. So yeah, I'll be going to their show. I may do a little bit of interview with them. I'll have to confirm with Keiko, the lead singer, this week. Saiseiga will be there. Ares will be there. One of the more sort of like established bands. And then a band called First Zero. Um, Zelda, yeah, yeah, that is not far from the truth. And another cool show that just popped up this week. Darn it. And this is the Team Queen Aya show with Arisa Sato from Emanon. Aya, the bassist. She's also the singer, but the bassist for Undying Words. Yui, the bassist for My Little Devil. And then Gina, who is in like every other band out there, Mellows, ASMR, The Frail, and she does some solo work as well. She's super busy. But I contacted Aya. She said, yes, thank you so much. So glad you're coming. Please come out. Bands I will be seeing for the first time, Crimson Spider Lily. Somebody mentioned that to me a while back, but I never like kept up. Moth in Lilac. I did see Lisa play in her other band, Garok, Tokyo Garok, with what's her name, Misaki. And that was when Lumrise was playing in Shimokitazawa. So I'll be seeing them. Dramatic End, I've seen once at Crescendo. The bassist is Lana, who also does play bass for quite a few other bands, including Yes and Shoujo S, who will be performing there as well. So I'm pretty sure if I want, I'll be able to take photos of every band. I don't know if that's the best thing to do. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best thing to do for my foot and for my time, because that's 5 bands you have to edit. So, but yeah, it's cool. What I really appreciate about Aya is that she's actually really appreciative. And like when I was chatting with her, she's like, "Yeah, anytime. Like you're free to come anytime." Because I said I can't go to this Undying Word show, and she's like, "Oh, because it's a weekday and stuff." But she's like, "Yeah, feel free to come anytime." And so I took her up on the offer. So that, for example, is we're not quite friends, I would say, but there's definitely this openness to helping each other out and generosity and favors, not favoritism, but doing favors. So that's really cool too. I mean, so those are a couple of shows. I did update because a couple weeks have passed. Let me just break it down very quickly, and then I'll wrap it up because it is almost an hour, just about. So, still going to their show on Saturday. Whose show on Saturday? Today is the 6th. She Glapes this coming Saturday, and then Sunday, Band-Maid Acoustic. So I'll be dressing up a little bit. The following week, Doll Parts, I'll be supporting them. There is a Shoujo S show as well that day, but since they're playing at the show in May, I can take photos for them for sure then. And I'll talk to Satoki, the singer for the band. The following day, Nekomeshi in the afternoon at Antinoch, and then Surge K in the evening, Crescendo, along with Fill It Up. So I don't know. May have to be a little bit careful just because, you know, like Antinoch with Nekomeshi is an early show, and then going to Crescendo for an evening show and doing more photos. And that's biking, like, I might have to bike like an hour. Just because it's easier on my foot than going from station to station and transferring and walking. So that might be tough. I'm not quite sure about that, how it's going to work. Then the following week, April 26th, Wildside. This is Uyu's birthday. Monodiagram, Doll Parts, Gangire, and Dizzy Metal. That's going to be a fantastic show. All of those bands I love. Monodiagram, I can't say I love. Even Dizzy Metal, I like them a lot. I like them a lot. But it'll be really cool. Yeah, you guys are lucky. How lucky are you guys to see me everywhere you go? And then the following day is Brideer. There is a metal fest with all these bands playing, but I can't do that to my foot. So if I have to choose one band, it's definitely going to be Brideer. WWF. Hey, brother. Shibuya. I'll be there for that. May, I'll be attending 4XX Error Code. That is a blacklisted band that's just new. They're from Akita, further up north. There are a few other bands playing, like Traitor, Valhalla. There's a couple of bands called Valhalla. Darn it, who else was there? I forget right now. Thanks. But yeah, that is during Golden Week. I do only get 3 days off, and they're not in succession, so it's kind of unfortunate. And then Day of Maid, which is the same day as the Little Lilith One Man, which is a shame, because I would have loved to have said, hey, it'd be great if I could go to, you know, your Little Lilith One Man and take photos for you again. And again, build that connection and that relationship. But unfortunately, I can't. But if you can't make it to the Day of Maid show, this is Little Lilith. They have a show at Shibuya Cyclone. Great venue. May 6th. Okay. Nemophila. I don't have any shows lined up. Maybe I'll go to my second Nemophila show and then be dry humped by hundreds of men. Eric. We need to talk. And then I have Saiseiga written here, not because I'll be attending the show, but I bought tickets for Richard and for Steen, so you guys will see each other there. There are two shows that I do want to go to, but they are on Mondays, they are work days, and I think at the end of the day, which, you know, it will be after work, I probably can't attend. There's an Antinoch show on the 21st, which has two bands I love, Gangire and Let It Out. That's rough. But great bands. There's also a band I know that Ryan really liked called Noel. I think more of a punk band. Another band called Damp sounds even dirtier. Can you stop? Stop. Just talk about the music. Don't talk about your personal experience. Just talk about the music. Talk about how cute, like, Tamu was. And then the 28th is a really cool show with Dim Rays hosting. Launcher 8 there as well. A band called, I believe, Star Kids, Worst Trash, and there's one more band. I don't know them too well, but yeah. But Akane seems pretty stoked about that from Dim Rays. But yeah, I think I'm trying not to do too many shows, but it's still kind of, you know, like I rested today. Well, I didn't rest. I did other stuff, but I didn't go to a show today. But yeah, I do. Oh, I do have Dim Ray's CDs. They're. I currently have 18 Bad Taste Dim Ray CDs right here. Sorry if I am very slow and I just haven't responded to those who are interested. Yeah, it's just tough, but I will get those CDs to you somehow at some point. Please be patient, please be understanding, and you can, sock me in the face when you see me in person. But I do have some merch I bought for some other people. Yes, there is Hades One Man on the 24th. We'll get more into that when it gets closer to the due date. They are posting photos like here and there of like, Milo being finished with drum recording, otsukara-sama deshita to Yuri. Here's a phrase that you can remember and learn so you can say it to bands after they're done with the show. Otsukare-sama deshita. It's kind of like saying like thank you for your hard work or good job. Otsukare-sama deshita. Otsukare-sama deshita. Otsukare-sama deshita. So that's said quite frequently and it will help. Yeah. I'm sure I missed certain questions or comments. Yes, Doll Parts Whiskey Melody exists trace on the 12th of May, a couple of days after the day of Maid. Oh God, the damn humping. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be dry humping you, Banana Man, with that piggyback ride, although I appreciate it. And I'm sure you'd appreciate it too. Yeah, I will say, I think some of you know back in the States that the cost of shipping will probably go up for items. I don't know all the details on that, but if you want to get stuff, yeah, get extra suitcases for sure. Yeah, I'm glad you guys found Doll Parts through our channel. That's really cool. That means a lot to me. Yeah, okay. All right, I think that is also about it. Yeah, Palaneo. That is a show I may go to. They do have a photographer that they use quite often, so I probably won't ask if I can. I'll just leave it at that. I shouldn't be greedy. I think before I was like, I want to be everybody's photographer. I think I asked Saiseiga like 3 separate times because I really, really wanted to take photos for them. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm coming off a little bit too hard, too heavy. Yeah. All right. There was a breaking news gate that I was gonna record after this. I thought this would only go about 30 minutes, but what do you know? Here I am, an hour and 8 minutes and 30 seconds later. So, all right, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy some of the music band introductions. Again, Lumirise, launcher number 8, which I think most of you probably have heard of. But just again, a forewarning if you go to their live show, wear hockey pads, you know, unlike the real Batman, wear hockey pads because it gets pretty wild. And generally speaking, when a band creates that type of weather, that's the case for all the shows. So Dim Rays, don't worry, like they're very friendly and welcoming and helpful. Launch number 8 had a different vibe. It was a little bit darker, a little bit more personal. Yeah, and then Little Lilith, I really do like them a lot more and more. So I'll be happy to see more of their shows, maybe take more photos of them. Baka Brock gave me a shout out. Oh, why did he give me a shout out? What did I do? Thanks, Howard. I don't know what I did though. Otsukaresama deshita. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it. You're a very encouraging guy. Have you always been that encouraging and supportive? Because you sound like you'd be a good coach. I would not. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, Jeff, you can tell me later. Yeah, no problem at all. Sorry to make it shaky. It's not an earthquake. That's just me moving moving my iPhone. Um, oh, okay. I didn't know I provided that information. Maybe it was on Twitter X. But yeah, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. It's cool to have this connection and this community, and you guys really do help support. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So I will see you guys again next week, and I'll have more information, hopefully more shows, more music, more bands, and hopefully just more love because my heart is so full and just pouring out. I'll see you guys. Have a wonderful Sunday and the rest of the week, and I will catch up with you guys somewhere online. Bye. See you guys. Thanks. I'll try, Eric. No more damp humping or dry humping or, yeah. Bye. Bye, Jeff.